Is food storage confusing to you? Well, then let me simplify it for you. Food storage really isn't as confusing or daunting as some people make it out to be. It's sort of like that old adage about the elephant and trying to eat it. Of course, it's always easier when you do it one bite at a time. So let me walk you through the basic steps of building your food storage so you can do it simply and you can get the best deals and make sure you're not buying the wrong items. Okay, the best place to start is with the food in your 72-hour kit. Number one, because it's the cheapest, and number two, because you can cross it off your list and feel like you're getting something done. The best option is survival bars. They will store at both really warm and really cold temperatures. They will also last without rotating for 5 to 7 years, and they're your cheapest option. Some survival bars you can get for as little as $7. Now, if you're thinking the right option is granola bars or power bars or cans of tuna, don't do it. Trust me, this is the best way to do it. Did you know that you would actually need 60 granola bars to equal one survival bar? That's a lot of granola bars and a lot of money. So just stick with the survival bars and check it off your list. The next step is creating a 2-week supply of shelf-stable food in case you had to shelter at home, meaning it was sort of dangerous outside, maybe there's a hurricane or something, but you can still be inside your home. Now, this is where a lot of people get confused on 72-hour kit and the sheltering at home food, because a lot of people want to put the sheltering at home food in their 72-hour kit. So those granola bars and those cans of tuna and chili and stuff like that are perfect in case you have to shelter at home. Make sure that these foods are heat and eat foods, things that maybe only need water. This would also be a great spot to put those freeze-dried meals if you wanted to, but really the cheapest way is to purchase those foods from the grocery store that probably your family already eats, the granola bars, the macaroni and cheese, the cans of chili, because that's going to be a whole lot cheaper. Plus, it also doubles as a great last-minute emergency night meal. When you come home late from something and you've only got 5 to 10 minutes to make dinner, you've already got it on your shelf and you'll be good to go. The third step is your 90-day supply. I like to refer to that as your rainy day food fund. If you've budgeted at all, you've probably heard the term rainy day supply, and that's money in case something goes wrong and you need to dip into it. Same is true with food. So the types of emergencies you would be covering in a 90-day supply are things that would only be affecting your family. Life for everyone else is going on all around you perfectly fine, but for you, there's something going on in your family or in your life. So we want to make sure that we can still provide normal meals and some consistency for the family. So a 90-day supply can be in your fridge, in your freezer, in your pantry, in your garden, and it's usually a collection or a mixture of all of those things to make meals your family is familiar with, but that also are easy. Now, the easiest way to start building your 90-day supply is the next time you're out of something, simply just buy an extra one and then start figuring out what recipes you make and make sure you have all those items on hand. The best way to do this is to start menu planning. And also make sure you're stocking up at the grocery stores. Without getting into a ton of details, just know the best times to stock up on pretty much everything in the grocery store are gonna be between October and December. Now, obviously, in between there are also some good sales. Think of, your 4th of July barbecue. That's when all the mayonnaise and potato chips and soda is gonna be on sale. And at Christmas time is when all the baking stuff's gonna be on sale. All these grocery store sales are cyclical and you can use them to your advantage. Now, some people think a 90-day supply should be entirely shelf stable. And I don't know about you, I don't have a pantry large enough to have a 90-day supply entirely shelf stable. In fact, when you think that your 90-day supply covers those emergencies, those family emergencies where normal life is going on all around you, let's say there's a sickness, a death, a new baby, you're probably gonna have electricity. And so for that reason entirely, and you want it to be as normal as possible because that means something is in upheaval in your life, that you want to have it be in your fridge, in your freezer, in your pantry, in your garden, things that your family normally eats. Step number 4, that's to start building your long-term food supply. Now, the long-term food supply are your basics. Your wheat, your rice, beans, the things that would sustain life. They're not really excited, I'll give you that, but they will sustain life if something were to happen. Now, these type of emergencies that this would cover is maybe something on a bigger scale, something more national, or if your 90-day supply or your 90-day problem is taking a little bit longer to get over, you can also dip into your long-term supply. When you think of beans and wheat and sugar, you may not be able to come up with anything super appetizing, but when you think of it in terms of wheat ground is just flour, and powdered milk, you use milk all the time in your cooking. When you start putting it into your everyday recipes, you realize it's a whole lot easier to rotate than you thought it was. In terms of how to build your long-term food supply, that's where my partner Debbie comes in handy. She created this very easy how to get your basic long-term supply in only $10 a week. And the best part is, if you think you don't have a place to put it, it'll actually fit entirely under a twin-sized bed. The place with the best prices on long-term food storage supplies is hands down always going to be a home storage center. You don't have to be Mormon or LDS to shop there, and in fact, you can even shop online. And Debbie actually has both of those options. She's got one option for if you live near one and you can frequent it every month, or also if you want to buy it by the case and have it shipped to you to build it all in 1 year. It really can't get any easier than this. And the best part is, when you purchase all your long-term basic supply from the home storage center as opposed to another food storage company, you could be saving anywhere from $1,000 to $1,500 per family member. So hello, if you've been saving for that trip to Hawaii, now you've got it. And step number 5, we like to call those the others. These are those other food storage items that, when you compare them with the long-term food storage, actually make really delicious meals. So you may want to consider learning skills like how to can and bottle meats and meals. You may also want to consider buying freeze-dried meats and cheeses and things like that. But because they cost so much more than the basics, that's why you want to make sure that's done at the very end. And that's where those food storage companies come in handy. The home storage center doesn't carry those, but these food storage companies do. Just make sure you have everything else filled out before you put your money there. So there you have it. How to build your food storage or emergency food supply in 5 simple steps, and how to buy the right things and not overspend so that you can make sure you're putting your money in the most important place, which is with your family. Now, if you want to learn more about your food storage and more about especially how to cook with it, make sure you like and subscribe below. And if you have other questions, check out my other book, Store This, Not That, where we teach you what you should and should not be storing. And I Can't Believe It's Food Storage, which is a simple step-by-step program for teaching you how to use all of those basic long-term supplies in your very own recipe. So you're rotating through it and getting your family accustomed to it without any trouble. Leave me a comment below with what is your biggest food storage frustration. Let's see if I can help.